So, this is all quite messed up, and I don't even know where to begin, but I will try. Basically, about a year ago, my sister filed for a divorce from her husband, citing irreconcilable differences. But in reality, she had told me and our parents that she had caught him cheating, which is why she had decided to leave. She was quite upset, and naturally, we only knew her side of the story because after she filed for the divorce, we had no reason to ever speak to her husband. So I wholeheartedly believed everything that she told us, including the fact that her husband had decided to abandon her and their 4-year-old daughter. Within a few months of filing for the divorce, she asked me to start helping her financially because she was struggling due to the divorce and all the expenses that she now had to handle on her own. She had been a stay-at-home mom before this, and she didn't really have much savings of her own, so I agreed to help her out because I felt terrible about the fact that she was going through so much. Our parents also chipped in, and for the past 10 months almost, we have been helping her financially. She got a job just a couple of months back, but even there, she's been working part-time because apparently, with the divorce and custody battle, she doesn't have time to work long hours. And because she works part-time, the money is not great either, so we have continued to help her out. That's how it's been, and honestly, we felt bad for her. We've been praying that this all gets over soon. But from what she had told us, her husband and his lawyer were fighting tooth and nail to make sure that she doesn't get the kind of settlement or alimony that she has asked for, and that he also gets custody of their daughter. And this has been going on for quite a while. She told us that things had gone to family court now, so she expected it to be resolved any minute, but even then quite a few months had passed. We were waiting for all of this to be over, but recently I ran into her ex-husband at a restaurant, and that has literally changed everything that I thought I knew. Because he spoke to me, and after having a conversation with him, I basically figured out that my sister had been lying to me and my parents about everything that she had been through, and she was just trying to dodge the responsibility of having to find a real job and stop relying on her family for money. That was it. We had been fooled by her for the past year almost. Because when I spoke to her husband, he told me that their divorce and custody arrangement had already been finalized a couple of months ago when she had been receiving alimony and child support. So everything that she had been telling us was just a bunch of BS to get our sympathy and our money. I had gone to the restaurant with a couple of my friends and I saw him there with a few of his co-workers. Obviously, given everything that has been going on with my sister, I did not want to speak to him, and even my friends saw him and said that we could go somewhere else. So we were just about to leave when something very strange happened. He spotted me and started waving and smiling. And I really did not understand that, since as far as I was concerned, he had put my sister through a lot. And he had no business trying to be friendly with me. So that was pretty confusing, and I thought it must have been a mistake or something, and I turned around and left with my friends. There was another restaurant nearby, and we were walking towards it, when somebody started calling my name, and it turned out to be my sister's ex-husband running after us. This was just bizarre. So I actually stopped and I asked my friends to go ahead, and I would catch up later because I wanted to see what he had to say to me. I was pretty upset, so I waited, and once he was near enough, I told him that after everything that had happened with my sister, he had no business trying to act like we were friends. Earlier, we might have been on good terms, but not anymore, and he needed to understand that. And then he started looking very confused, and a couple of seconds later, he told me that he had no idea what I was talking about. At that point in time, both of us were really confused. So I started telling him that I knew that he was trying to make a fool out of me or something, but I was not going to entertain this. I was going to walk away, But then he told me that he genuinely didn't have a clue, and from his face I could tell he was telling the truth. That's when something started feeling fishy. So I told him everything that my sister had said, and I asked him if that was actually the case or not. The more that I elaborated on the situation, the more shocked he looked, and by the end, he was literally going red in the face. And after I was done, he told me that he was really disappointed that this was what my sister had told me about the divorce. Somehow he maintained his cool, and he explained that everything that my sister had told me was a lie, and that their divorce had actually been quite amicable. They had resolved all their differences and ended things mutually, and there had been no cheating involved at all, so there was no reason for her to say anything of the sort. He also said that she had been receiving the alimony and child support that she had demanded for a couple of months now because their divorce had been finalized a few months back. It was not still ongoing like my sister claimed. When he told me all of this, obviously, in the beginning, I didn't believe it, but then I guess he realized I was doubting his honesty. So he took out his phone, showed me a couple of texts. He and my sister had obviously stayed in touch because regardless of everything else that was going on, they were still going to co-parent their daughter. So they had to stay in touch. My sister had said that she was trying to get full custody, but until that was finalized, they had to stick to the arrangement of splitting their daughter's time with each other, with her spending half the week with my sister and the other half with her ex. From what I knew, my sister was upset about this, but from the text that he showed me, I could tell that it really wasn't affecting her that badly, and they were quite relaxed with each other. Even before that, as he scrolled up, I could tell that there had been absolutely no conflict of the sort that my sister had been telling me. And she had basically been lying about everything. It was insane. I didn't even know how to react. But anyway, after that conversation, I apologized to her ex. And he just waved it off, saying that I would obviously be more inclined to believe my sister because I wouldn't think that she would have any reason to lie to me. But he was very upset that she had painted him in such a light. And she had lied about so many things to me and thrown him under the bus, all while pretending to be amicable and friends with him. With that, we parted ways, and when I came back home, I just blocked my sister everywhere. I didn't even think that she was worth confronting because I didn't want to talk to her at all. I told my parents everything that I had heard, and just like me, they were also in disbelief for a while, but then they told me that they would be taking a similar approach and blocking her everywhere. Because it's not like we would be getting back the money by fighting with her or anything, and it was not even about the money, truth be told. It was about all the lies that she had said, how dishonest she had been, and that was way more hurtful. So we blocked her, and for the past couple of days we didn't hear anything from her until today. Earlier today, she showed up at my house and she was totally hysterical. She was banging on the door, demanding that I open it, saying that her life was ruined. I had no idea what was going on, but I still opened the door because I wanted to see what it was all about. When I let her in, she started crying. She totally broke down on my couch and started telling me that she knew that she had lied and everything, and I was probably hurt because of that. And that was probably the reason our parents had blocked her, and so did I. She knew everything, and for the past couple of days, she had been hoping that maybe I would forgive her, but now she really needed my help to convince her ex-husband not to file custody because apparently that's what he had done. For the past few days, she had tried to stay quiet and keep a low profile because everybody was mad at her, including me, her ex-husband, and our parents. She thought that keeping things quiet would be the only way to make everyone forget, and eventually she would come back to all of us and apologize and things would be all right. But then today her ex-husband said he was filing for full custody because after all, the lies that she had told about him and what he had found out, he didn't trust her anymore. She thought he was doing this just to get revenge on her, and she wanted me to speak to him and somehow stop him. I don't know what I could have done in this situation, I don't think I would have had the power to do anything about it, and I told her as much. I also said that if he thought that having full custody was a better move, then maybe he has his reasons for it. And since I'm not a parent, I'm not going to doubt him on this one. I'm going to convince him otherwise. I was very firm about it, and my sister started crying even harder, saying that I didn't care about her, saying that one stupid lie that she had told should not be enough to ruin our relationship altogether, if it meant anything to me. And she even said that the only reason she had made up all those lies and continued to take money from us was because she wanted to start a business and she wanted to live a good life. But she didn't want to give up on time with her daughter, which is why she had to do all of this. Apparently, she claimed that after the divorce she would be expected to get a job, and the alimony and child support would be enough to sustain the kind of lifestyle that she was used to, only if she had a job of her own as well. Her ex-husband was pretty well off, for context, so she was used to a certain kind of life, but I don't think that the terms of the divorce were that unfair, because as it is, she was getting alimony, and in spite of having shared custody of her child, she was still getting child support. Didn't make sense for her ex-husband to be paying more than what was required because she was perfectly capable of getting a job and working to get her own money if she wanted the kind of lifestyle that she had been used to so far. If not, she could stick to working part-time and have a normal life like the rest of us. But she was not happy with that. So she decided to lie about everything, and even while she was telling me her reasons, I was not convinced that she was telling me the whole truth. She was not being transparent about the figures and everything. And after a while, I just told her that I didn't want to listen to her anymore. And I wanted her to just go away, leave me alone. So then she started yelling at me, saying that it was all my fault and that I was the reason that her child was going to be taken away from her now. Even though I really don't buy that. Anyway, she said that I was being heartless by turning her away and refusing to help her, and that if I really loved her as a sister, I wouldn't have behaved like this. It's been a couple of hours since then, and I just can't shake it off. I keep thinking about it, and maybe I feel a little guilty. Did I do the wrong thing, AITA, for refusing to help my sister now that her ex-husband has filed for full custody of their daughter? Update 1. Hi, thank you to everybody who commented on my post and supported me. I have decided not to get involved in any of this. I think I have helped her enough and supported her enough. But she had been lying to me all along, and she did not feel guilty about any of that so far. Now that she is at risk of having her child taken away from her, she has started to develop a conscience. I don't think that that's something worth forgiving, and I think that maybe her ex-husband is doing the right thing. I don't know, I might not end up getting full custody, but whatever it is, I know that this is not my place to interfere. I helped her when she asked me for financial help, and as it turns out, she was not telling me the truth, and now she has lost all my trust, so the only person that she can blame for all of this is herself. I'm not going to take any of the responsibility here for whatever is about to happen in the future. Besides, if he has decided to file for full custody, then he must have had a reason, since I find it difficult to believe that it's just this that has led to him making a conscious decision that's going to affect everybody involved, mostly his daughter. I don't buy the fact that this is all happening just for revenge, because I know that both of them love their daughter a lot. So they really wouldn't do anything to jeopardize her life and stability. And this is doing exactly that, because she's just 4. She already had to face a tough situation given her parents have separated, and now that she's just getting used to this new arrangement of living, she's once again going to have to get used to something new. I'm sure that no parent would put their daughter through this just to get revenge on the other. So I know that something is surely going on, and she's not telling me about it. But anyway, whatever the case, I'm not going to get involved. I've done enough. And I've spoken to my parents about all of this as well. They have told me that after the visit to my house, she decided to show up at their place. But they were not at home at the time. They were out meeting some of their friends. She left a note on the door asking them to unblock her and call her or contact her in some way. But instead, they decided to call me to ask what was going on. And I filled them in on everything that was happening. So they decided the next time that she shows up, they are just not going to open the door. They're not going to let her in because they don't want to get involved in any of this either. And since it's been a couple of days since her last visit, she decided to go to their house today. I don't know, for whatever reason, to be honest. I don't understand why she's going around asking us for help when the problem is between her and her husband. If anything, she should probably be talking to him and convincing him not to do this to her. What are we going to do? But anyway, my parents stayed true to their word. And they did not even open the door to her. She banged on the door, yelled at them. She did everything in her power, but they didn't open. And I think it's a good thing because right now she needs to sort out her own problems by herself. She cannot and should not drag us all into this because we don't have anything to do with her or her divorce or whatever. I honestly don't understand what's going on. I think the only person who will be able to explain it would be her ex-husband, but I don't know if it will be the right thing to talk to him or not, given what's going on. I mean, of course, the last time we met, he was quite nice to me, but even then, this all seems very personal, and I don't want to intrude or anything, so I don't know. Update 2. Hey, so it's been a couple of days since my last update, and today I received an email from my sister saying that she would really like for me to testify in her favor, if that's what it comes down to. So far, her ex-husband has not exactly filed for divorce, but he has just warned her that he will be going ahead with it in a couple of days, as soon as he's a little less busy with work. And she has told me that even though I don't want to get involved, she would like for me to at least consider it because she doesn't want to lose custody of her daughter. Apparently, her ex-girlfriend has told her that given everything that's happened, he would want her to only have their daughter for 1 day a week, but the rest he would like for their daughter to stay with him. And that's not good. But like I said, I don't know if I want to get involved or not. And because of this email, I finally decided to make the call and ask her ex-husband what was actually going on. Because, like I said, I had a doubt that maybe there was more to the situation than what she was letting on. I refused to believe that this was happening only because she had lied to me and her parents about what kind of a man he had been, because what does that have to do with him? Until we met at the restaurant, he didn't care about any of this. So why would he finally care so much about our opinion of him that he would go out of his way to get custody of his daughter and take her away from my sister? It just didn't make sense. So I decided to finally call him because I couldn't deal with the curiosity anymore. I just had to know what was going on so I could at least make sense of this whole thing. I was kind of nervous, but when I called him, he picked up and he was very nice and civil, which he usually is. So he put me at ease, and then I explained what was going on, whatever my sister was saying, and I asked him if it was true, whether he was truly filing for full custody or not. And if yes, then if he was really doing it simply because of whatever I had told him. And what do you know? I was right. There was definitely more to whatever she was letting me on. And what do you know? I was right. There was definitely more to whatever she was letting me in on. And I have to say, my sister has been the sneakiest, most sly person ever for the past couple of months, because the things that I have found out about her, I can't believe that these are true. In fact, I would even say that her ex surprised me a bit, but that's not really my business right now. Basically, what he told me was that they had been in an open marriage for the past 2 years. Apparently, after the birth of their daughter, their relationship had lost its spark. and she was the one who had suggested it. At first, he was not ready to be okay with that, but then he started reading about it and he decided to go for it. And then about a year ago, she decided that she wanted a divorce because she liked this lifestyle and she wanted to be completely untethered. So she told him all about it and he agreed, because even he had started to like his almost single lifestyle. They agreed to get a divorce and have shared custody of their daughter, and after the waiting period was over, the divorce took a very short time. But what was troubling was that she would get a little too involved with whoever she was with and bring them home, and her ex-husband had spoken to her several times about it, that he did not want her bringing home any men while their daughter was with her. But she ignored him repeatedly, and obviously since their daughter had eyes and could speak, she would bring it up. She didn't know what was going on, but it was clear that it did leave an impression on her, and he didn't like it, naturally. They never spoke about it on text, but he definitely confronted her about this on several occasions. And they have been fighting about it recently, but everything I told him that day was just the last nail in the coffin. He was already not okay with whatever she was doing, and the fact that she had been dishonest to this extreme, that just threw him off entirely. So that's why he decided to file for full custody, and he's going ahead with it. He's just waiting for his workload to lighten up a bit, and then he's going to go ahead with it. He has also given her a fair warning so she can do whatever she needs to do. And he doesn't think that she needs to worry about the money anymore, because clearly she has taken enough from us. He's also thinking about cutting out the child support entirely, and that's another part of the reason why she doesn't want him filing for full custody. Naturally, all of this has come as news to me, and I didn't know what to make of it, but I did thank him for letting me know the truth. And now I know for a fact that I'm doing the right thing by not getting involved in any of this at all. It's all very complicated, but what I know for a fact is that whatever she has been up to is not right. There was no reason for her to be bringing home whoever she went out on dates with, especially when her daughter was at home. If that was not the case, then it would have been a different story, even though it would have still been quite unsafe and weird, because from what I've known, she doesn't know these men for more than a couple of days. So how can she trust them and bring them home, especially when her daughter is around? From a parental point of view, I can see why he would want full custody if this is what's going on. So I don't think I want to help her, and that's what I'm going to stick to right now. Update 3. Okay, so it's been a week since my last update, and today, once more, my sister reached out to me by email, asking me if I had made up my mind whether I wanted to testify in her favor or not, because she would need all the help she could get. After everything that I had found out, I had already made up my mind I was not going to be getting involved in this, and I said the same to her. I told her I had spoken to her ex-husband. I knew whatever had been going on, and I did not want any part of this. As it is, I'm quite busy with my work, and the way she has scammed me and our parents, I don't think either of us wants anything to do with her as of now. I told her that I wish her the best, I hope that everything works out, but apart from that, I can't do anything about this. I thought that she would take that kindly, but once again she started calling me names. She said I was heartless and cruel, and said that I was jealous of the life that she had built for herself. I mean, given how things are going right now, I don't think that I have anything to be jealous of, but anyway, I didn't even reply to that email. I figured that she would just run out of steam at some point, but she sent me a couple more hurtful emails within a few hours, and I blocked her after that. Because honestly, I don't need any of this, and even though I had really loved my sister and had always been by her side, always supported her, clearly she doesn't value any of that. I don't understand why she couldn't just be honest and transparent with our family. I think that would have worked out much better for her, but I guess she's just a pathological liar. Well, whatever now. She's getting her karma and nobody wants to talk to her anymore. I hope she's happy with all the money that she's taken from us. And I hope she's happy about the fact that she's lost us in the process of scamming us idiotically. Update 4. Hey, so it's been 8 months since my last update, and today I heard from my parents that my sister had eventually come to a settlement with her ex-husband. She had agreed to get therapy and had also agreed to get a place near her ex-husband so he could keep an eye on her activity to make sure nothing weird was going on. In exchange for that, he had agreed to let her have their daughter for the weekend instead of just one day of the week. And slowly they will work their way forward, but this is a good start for her. She has kept in touch with her parents, but not in touch with me, because I guess our parents were a little less rude with her than I was. Anyway, I think things didn't work out that badly for her, but even then, I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive her for everything that happened. I thought I knew her, but she betrayed me. I'm done with her. It's a little sad that I probably won't be seeing my niece anytime soon because I do miss her a bit. But when she's older, I guess things will have changed. I guess she might come to see me at some point in time in the future, or maybe she won't. I can't tell for sure. But whatever it is, I'm glad that I did whatever I thought was right. I stuck to my guns. I stuck to my belief, and that's all that matters to me. I definitely do end up missing her occasionally, but I know that I can't do anything about it. Last couple of emails that she sent me were quite hateful and angry, and I think I did the right thing by cutting her out of my life. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.